and Michigan State taking on Iowa State. Ashley Jones. It was the left shoulder that popped out, not her shooting shoulder, but this is a tough kid. Remember a couple years ago when she originally separated the shoulder, popped it back in and came back, played the game, and helped win the game. And away we go in Portland, Iowa State. And right away, Ashley Jones fires up the three. That one was off the mark. Iowa State known for its three-point shooting, always among the highest volume and percentage of three-pointers in the country, and that is Parks. Now the Iowa State starting five, very familiar names, Ryan Donarski and Jones, but Stephanie Suarez, she is a huge addition to this team.
I see what you did there, Pam, with the huge. I mean, Suarez comes
literally and figuratively.
Yes, at 6'8", and I think just takes a lot of pressure off Ashley Jones on both ends of the floors. We'll see as this game goes on how Bill Finley uses Suarez and Jones together based on how the defense plays them.
Two-time National Player of the Year, played at an NAIA school, Masters College in California. The Michigan State starting lineup. Gabby Elliott, transfers coming in.
Pam, you mentioned the threes by the Cyclones, but Michigan State's averaging 25 three attempts a game as well.
And there's Suarez with the first of what will be many blocks. And one thing that savvy fans have noticed is that Matilda Eck is not in the starting lineup for Michigan State. That is because the very talented Swede is actually playing for her national team in Stockholm today and is going to get on a plane and come here in time to play on Sunday. And believe it or not, there is a nonstop flight from Reykjavik, Iceland to Portland, Oregon, and she's going to get on that flight tomorrow. Shot clock winding down. Parks got around Suarez, who has two early blocks.
And man, something to watch is just how difficult can Michigan State make Iowa State's offense in the half court. Can they disrupt? Because to me, Iowa State runs such a fluid half-court offense.
Really is pretty when they get things going. Jones needed just a little bit of separation. She doesn't need two good shoulders.
She doesn't need practice either. She did not practice at all yesterday. Went through the shoot-around today. I mean, that's just a baller.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal player. Could have gone pro, but decided to come back and use her final year of eligibility. That is nice, pretty basketball, good finish.
And Pam, this seems simplistic, but Michigan State needs to score. Why? So they can set up their full court pressure and look to turn Iowa State over.
Yeah, they're much better when they're able to do that. That is knocked out of bounds momentarily. Susie Merchant, the head coach, has done a terrific job at Michigan State. Trying to come back from a somewhat of an off year last year, only a 500 record, did not make the NCAA tournament. Rebound taken down by Emily Ryan, who is a really good point guard. Zips it into Jones. D'd up by McDaniel, so she has to get it out. Suarez can't finish.
But Pam, that was 6'8" from the high post, putting it on the ground and trying to get to the rim to finish.
And McDaniel, that time, she was cut off at the pass by Jones. Bill Finley going to his bench early. He has a sub ready to come in at the table. Inside little no-look pass to Elliott, but she couldn't get it to go.
When you're seeing already Michigan State's offensive game plan, look for the back doors against the much taller Iowa State team.
Yeah, boy, Hageman should have had an assist on that play. McDaniel, Elliott, there's Michigan State basketball. You don't usually see Iowa State pass up a three, but Danae Fritz just waited for a better spot on the floor.
And I think this is what this game's going to come down to. Can Michigan State force a turnover early enough in their press? Because otherwise, once Iowa State crosses half court, they're spotting up for three.
What does Bill Fenley say? Shoot it before you turn it over. That's quite a philosophy.
Honestly, in this day and age, I love it. And I think players love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them in games yelling at players because they had an open three and they didn't take it.
Jones now playing defense on McDaniel. Good job cutting off the baseline. Parks with the shot clock winding down. That's too much contact by Jones. A bit of a bailout with only 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, it is key for Michigan State to limit shots by Iowa State. Why? Because this is when they're at their best. Whether it's a block, whether it's a turnover, they want to get out and run.
There's Bill Fenley, who has been on the sidelines for over 30 years. Overall, 28 years, the Iowa State head coach, and his staff has been together now in their 13th season, and that's pretty much unheard of.
In this day and age, for sure, and I can't say it enough how much that has to help Bill Fenley, because he knows, they know, everyone's expecting the same thing.
Hageman with the slash gives Michigan State another 2-point lead. Naimir Dew, number 1, among the subs checking in. Ashley Jones, nothing doing. Morgan Kane in off the bench with the rebound. That's a travel. Eric Bruton, Julie Kromenhoek, and Kyle Bacon, our officials this afternoon. Still afternoonish in Portland. Hope everybody is having a nice Thanksgiving. We have a terrific weekend of basketball ahead. Susie Merchant in her 16th year at Michigan State.
Pam, you mentioned, but we're saying both teams go to their bench early. Michigan State's a team, mainly because of that defensive pressure, they can bring 8 more players off the bench. So I got to believe it. This is about trying to wear down the Cyclones, maybe affect that shot here in the second half.
Yeah, that Michigan State roster is chunky as far as not width, but in height. First break, Michigan State up by 8. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. Is the basketball capital of the universe this weekend. 3 different sites, 4 different tournaments for the Phil Knight tourneys. We're at the Child Center in North Portland, Veterans Memorial Coliseum and the Moda Center where the Blazers play. That's where some action is going on. And earlier today, North Carolina was able to squeak by Portland. North Carolina women won here earlier today, and the Iowa State men went to overtime, beat Villanova. And now the Iowa State women trying to pull off the double, just like North Carolina did earlier. Pam Ward and Christy Thomas-Gutty joining you. We are at the Child Center, which is on the campus of Portland State. Ashley Jones with the miss. And the drive, unsuccessful. Lexi Donarski bringing the ball up, adding more to her offensive repertoire as her career has gone on. That's good defense, but patience paid off for Morgan Kane. Iowa State and Emily Ryan bringing the basketball up. Tie ball game. Fire away and hit another 3. It's Donarski. Donarski hitting the 3. Alec trying to answer on the other end, but the rebound is taken down by Dew. And with the dish, and now the block under the basket, and they're saying it's off of Iowa State, so Michigan State gets it back.
Checking in for Michigan State, Gabby Elliott, and Kamaria Daniel.
Iowa State and Michigan State last met in the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. Iowa State came away with the win, and there is a moving screen caught by Eric Bruton. Jocelyn Alexander, Canadian, called for her first personal foul.
And Alexander has just come up so big for the Spartans at this point in the season. Only 38 points all of last year, 58 already to this point in the season.
Juarez, who has 3 blocks already, getting in on the offensive end this time. She is going to make a big difference for this Iowa State team that was picked to win the Big 12 this year.
I think shot selection for both these teams is so huge because they want to get out and run.
So this is when it's almost not fair, when somebody that tall can spot up and hit a 3.
Well, she just adds to the spacing ability of Iowa State because of her ability to shoot the shot, but also, as we just see, her ability on the half court to make up for miscues by the perimeter players.
Shot missed this time. Rebound taken down by McDaniel. Spartans with a couple more subs getting ready to come into the game. They trail by 8 early, and there's a travel out on the perimeter.
Well, Pam, we knew Stephanie Suarez would have an impact on this game. How, we weren't sure, but we've seen it on both ends. She's running the floor in transition. Good hands to stay with the play, then trails this next time to spot up for 3. And then defensively, she stays in position to protect the rim.
This is her first and only year at Iowa State. Ryan can't get it to go. Now Elliott finishes. Now Elliott's been a year and a half at Clemson, ACC all-freshman team. Before transferring to Michigan State, she is a Detroit native. And foul. Hageman got too handsy out there and picked up the foul. She's also from Detroit. And Hageman is the only returning starter playing today for the Spartans.
Well, when you talk about Hageman and Elliott, it's not just chemistry that they've started this year. They played high school basketball together as well.
And that certainly is a big help. As Suarez with the turnaround. Hageman hammered by Ashley Jones, and she's going to shoot 3 free throws. You don't usually see Ashley Jones makes plays like that, and that's Ashley's second foul.
Absolutely. I mean, cardinal rule is you do not ever foul a jump shooter, and I think Jones just closed out a little bit too tight there and unfortunately gets called for the foul.
So she goes to the bench. Jones just 1 of 5 from the floor in 9 minutes. Bill Fenley sitting next to his son Billy, talked about his staff. Jody Steyer, Latoya Shaven, been there together for 13 years. Hageman delivers at the free throw line. Hageman delivers to get them to within 4 points inside 50 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Credit Emily Ryan so far in terms of handling this pressure. She just out-dribbled a full-court sprint by the defender to make sure she could safely get the ball in the half court.
And then you see Donarski trying to get the lob pass into Suarez, who was just grabbed.
Look out for the lob here. They like to go over the top to Suarez here.
Isolated down on the block with the left hand and got it to go. I hear Parks trying to check her one-on-one.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Pam, but we've seen Suarez hit a three, block shots, finish with her right, finish with her left, in only the first quarter.
No need to correct you because you are correct.
I don't hear that very often, so thank you.
Just a fraction of a second or two between the two clocks. Three ball, a little bit too long. And Iowa State doesn't have the chance to get a heave, but they lead it 18-12 after 1 quarter of play. Cyclones have hit 4 threes already. Ashley Jones, not only a great basketball player, but she has been a student teacher and even doing some substitute teaching. And the 5th grade class in which she did her student teaching has a message for her.
Hi, Miss Jones. Happy Thanksgiving. We miss you. Go Cyclone basketball.
So Mrs. Reed's 5th grade class and Ashley Jones. Mrs. Reed had said there's been articles written about it. What a good job she does. And Ashley's going to play basketball as long as she can, but she's always wanted to be a teacher, and apparently is just a natural for it.
Well, she's a leader on this team, and I think you see some of those teaching skills translate from the court to the classroom, and just how special is that? The impact she's having on so many young people already.
And if they weren't Iowa State women's basketball fans, they certainly are now. But right now, Ms. Jones is sitting on the bench with a couple of personal fouls. And just gutting it out. Yep, all-time leading scorer. She's getting closer to Angie Welly for their all-time leading rebounder. Just a fantastic career with the Cyclones. And here they are in the top 10. Suarez picked it up. And Suarez pops out to set a screen, rolls to the basket, gets the quick double, and is called for the travel.
Hats off to Michigan State's help side defense there. Those were 2 guards, not even 5'8" in stature, rotate over after Suarez rolls off of the on-ball screen. They just wall up and force the turnover.
Iowa State, a team known for its three-point shooting, now adding Suarez to their arsenal. Ewald. Or excuse me, Tori Osmond unable to get that bucket. Cut to the basket. How about that assist for Suarez to find Duke?
And give credit to Dew. She saw her player was out in the passing lane. She cut it back door, but beautiful pass by the post player.
Almost forced a turnover. Ball stays with Michigan State.
Suarez just making her presence felt. What do you do when someone overplays a passing lane? You cut back door. She sees it, and more importantly, Dew sees it, and the pass is on the money.
2-time National Player of the Year in NAIA ball. Already making an impact. Her 4th block.
I thought she was going to take it herself.
Yeah, why not go coast to coast? Coach Fenley says that she has really put in a lot of time with a strength and conditioning coach. There's a foul out on the perimeter.
Have we mentioned Stephanie Suarez yet? Here she is again on the defensive end. And the possession before, she altered Parks from going up. Parks knew she was there, so she didn't even try. This last possession, she gets the block.
Now Suarez goes out to get a rest. Came in with 10 blocks in 4 games. She already has 4 today. Morgan Kane now playing the post as the shot clock winds down. The 3 wide left by Espen Miller-McGraw. Iowa State basketball, 19 seconds to shoot. Suffocating defense on Ryan out on the perimeter, and now Dew somehow was able to get that shot up. Kane kept it alive. Put up a 3, that's what Iowa State does. When in doubt, jack up a 3. Espen Miller-McGraw.
One of the highest percentage shots in the game is a 3-pointer off of offensive rebound. Give Kane credit for tipping it out for that shot.
Iowa State has hit at least 1 3 in every game that Billy Fenley has coached. That's an NCAA record.
And Pam, we've talked about Suarez, but she goes to the bench. Kane comes in, just keeps the possession alive. Extra pass to Maggie Espen Miller-McGraw, knocks it down.
Maggie is from Indianola, Iowa. That's the same town in which Ashley Jones' student teaches. I wonder if she went to the same elementary school. We'll get on that. Emily Ryan spins, puts it up. Rebound tipped out, but it stays with the Cyclones. Espen Miller-McGraw misses. Michigan State has not scored yet in this quarter, which is almost, and now is, 3 minutes old. Follow. There's your first bucket of the quarter by Gabby Elliott.
And you just felt like that was just dire for Michigan State to get, just to see the ball go through the hoop.
Yeah, they're really struggling right now offensively.
And Pam, this is going to be interesting because this is a Michigan State team who has beaten every one of their first 6 opponents by at least 30 points. They've not had anything close. So how do they respond now when their defense isn't forcing turnovers? Can they get mojo from offense, or is it going to have to be defense gives their offense the mojo?
Averaging over 90 points a game. Morgan Kane hit on the other end for Iowa State. Left alone for the 3. Short for Hageman.
Michigan State has to be clean on their switches, and what I mean by that is they're in man-to-man defense and they're switching those screens, and a couple of times they haven't made the clean switch, they've been able to exploit.
Can I just say that Emily Ryan made a lovely pass into Morgan Kane, inducing a timeout.
Well, Pam loved it so much. Let's see it again. Emily Ryan off the on-ball. Kane rolls, and I love that Ryan just waits for her to be open.
We're at the Childs Center, where Iowa State is leading Michigan State, and over at the Moda Center, just south of here in Portland, UConn with a very early 3-0 lead over Oregon in the Phil Knight Invitational. That is a quarterfinal. The women playing in Portland for the first time in this tournament. Iowa State, meanwhile, Christy, they don't just shoot threes.
Well, right now it's the post for Iowa State. They're making their presence felt. Suarez goes out. Morgan Kane comes in, and she's doing the work before the ball gets to her. She rolls off an on-ball screen. She posts up, and what is she doing? She's burying her defender underneath the basket, presenting herself to her guard for an easy 2 points each time.
And Morgan Kane, redshirt senior, who had not started the game until last year, now coming off the bench again because of the woman you just saw mostly, Stephanie Suarez, who already has 4 blocks, tying her career high for Iowa State. Also had 4 against the Vikings of Cleveland State. And she's back in the game, number 24, Ashley Jones. Sat out for a while with 2 personals.
Well, veteran players get the benefit of the doubt from head coaches. And you got to believe Bill Finley's had to do this numerous times when Jones has picked up early fouls.
And a foul on Donarski A little bit of a moving screen. Again, if you're just joining us, Ashley Jones was questionable coming into today. That left shoulder popped out in practice back in Ames before they flew west. She has never missed a game at Iowa State because of an injury. Emily Ryan, she's good. Comes up with the steal.
And we'll talk a lot about Suarez, about Jones, but you got to have a captain of the ship, and that is Emily Ryan to me. To this point in the game, 4 assists, no turnovers against the defense of Michigan State. She also knows how to force her own turnovers on the opponents. There, just reaches up and grabs it, but she plays with great pace. She has an internal clock that knows when she should pull it out for her team, when her team needs to try to score quick in transition. Every great team that's trying to win a national championship needs a point guard like Emily Ryan.
Set the Iowa State single-season record for assists last year. His first team all Big 12. Led the Big 12 in assists. How about 17 assists against TCU? She's all over the record books. And there's a tie-up. And the point guard comment is certainly well taken, because there are some teams, even here this weekend, that don't have a true point guard. And boy, what a difference that makes.
I'm not calling it an epidemic, but it is something we're seeing more and more. It's just the loss of that true point guard. And I was talking to a fellow coach a couple weeks ago, and I said, hey, the teams with a true point guard and a true low post player, those are your top 7 to 8 teams in the country right now. I mean, look at the teams here. The UConn, great post player, great point guard. We talk about Iowa. You better believe a great point guard and a great post player.
Clark and Sonano, we will see them tomorrow. Suarez with the miss. Now Michigan State trying to get things going. They've only made 6 shots, and they've had 6 of their shots blocked. Not a good ratio.
And you can tell Michigan State's trying to play fast. I think they're too fast right now.
Offensive rebound and then the kick out. Challenging in the paint. Ashley Jones comes away with it, and she's holding on to that ball for dear life. I dare you to take it away from her.
I wonder how many people have been able to during this illustrious
I'm guessing 0.
career. Yeah. And that's one of those mistakes by Fisher. You don't compound a mistake. She missed the shot. You can tell she's trying to get the ball back for her team, and then unfortunately gets the foul.
Ashley Jones, there is one more Jones sister yet to come. Kelsey is going to come in next year for Iowa State as Ashley exits. Had a sister who played here last year, who now is playing at Oklahoma, transferred out of Iowa State. And now it's time for a block on the Michigan State end.
Tyre Parks knows her teammate gets beat, rotates over before even the lane line, and just says, not now, not in my house.
Tyre Parks from North Royalton, just south of Cleveland. And Iowa State, Emily Ryan showing she can score as well. 16-point advantage, my gosh. Michigan State has only scored 2 points in this quarter. Michigan State defensively in each of their games has held an opponent to a single-digit tally in it. But now they're the ones on that end.
Well, I was just about to say, it is Iowa State who is disrupting the Michigan State offense to this point in the game.
Yeah, kind of flipping the script of certainly what Michigan State has built itself on, has prided itself on so far in this season. Donarski doesn't get the roll. As we hit 3 minutes to go in a very low-scoring half, particularly for Sparty. They don't even get a shot off that time. Naimir Dew gets it over to Ryan. Suarez with a big height advantage down low, but they can't get it into her. She was being checked by Moira Joyner, who isn't even 6 feet tall.
And this
Suarez
is the
goes out.
Sorry, Pam. No, this is the pressure Iowa State will put on a team. They can obviously score in transition, but they love just setting up in the half court and picking you apart as well. And again, I can't say enough about just the basketball IQ we're seeing from Iowa State. They know when they've got numbers and to take the high percentage shot. They also know just when to pull it out and let the half court offense work.
Here's Billy Fenley, the head coach's son and longtime assistant, talking to Donarski and Jones on the sideline. Oh, Parks with the big thud on the block, but they think they're going to get a foul on Elliott.
No, they're calling it on Parks, if I'm not mistaken. He said after the block. The block was clean, but what he's saying is after the block, she came through into the body.
They got a bit of her head as well.
Pam, there are blocks, and then there are, like, statement blocks.
You could hear that block.
Yes.
So now Parks goes out. Fritz trying to get it over to Ryan. 17 seconds to shoot. Donarski, after a very quick breather, comes back in. Lexi Donarski, another player on this team that is just so important.
Well, look at this lineup now for Iowa State and how small they are going. You've got Dye and basically all 5 players are guards, but the versatility of people like Fritz and Dye allows Bill Finley to go to this roster at this lineup.
Fritz's 3 well off the mark. Michigan State trying to get a bucket. As you see, they have missed 10 of their 11 shots in this quarter, turned it over 3 times. And a personal foul called on Dew. And now at least a chance for McDaniel to get points at the free throw line.
And this is important. The second one's really important. Because can they get one to fall so they can get into the full court pressure? It's the mojo for them. It's where they thrive. But good luck with Emily Ryan on the floor right now for Iowa State.
McDaniel does get 1 out of 2. And now the pressure you talked about is set up. But yeah, you're right. They got Emily Ryan, who can do some things. Donarski also a good ball handler. Ryan with the dish off, and then the block by Arolt. No steps. Boy, Arolt after the block came down on the offensive end and put her hand up saying, yep, I messed up. Susie Merchant probably thinking, yes, you did. All right, Coach, you've got 16 points here. Halftime talk will be interesting for the Spartans.
Well, I think it's a matter of right now, it's not just the full court, it is now the half-court defense that Michigan State has to clean up. You see that they're scrambling. They're chasing Iowa State all over the floor. And this is, I was not expecting this. But at the same time, how much half-court defense has Michigan State really had to play at this point in the season because they've been turning their opponents over so much?
Ryan got hacked. One of Coach Merchant's keys was not to let Iowa State pick them apart in the quarter court, and they have done just that.
And how? They've done a great job, Iowa State has, of keeping the ball in the middle of the floor. You can't trap in the middle of the floor. And so once 2 people have committed to the ball, they've thrown it over the top and then immediately gone back to the middle, allowing them to get the high percentage looks.
Michigan State has more turnovers than field goals in this game. Michigan State has only hit 6 field goals. Turned the ball over 7 times. Emily Ryan heading to the free throw line.
Pam, we're looking at a team that shoots 88% from the free throw line. Hence, Bill Finley always sends 4 players back to get the defense set.
Because he knows what rebound.
Exactly.
That sucker's going in, so why put people at the line? Suarez is back in. Perennially one of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation as well.
You know, I asked Bill Finley yesterday, what's better for you right now, your offense or your defense? And he said, we're ahead on offense, behind on our defense. Well, if that's how he's thinking, his team's responded to that statement.
And giving up just 16 points in 19 minutes. Michigan State has scored 4 points in this quarter. They want Wanted a foul, did not get one. McDaniel with the step into the lane, chaos.
She didn't have numbers. McDaniel should have pulled that one out. Went in just trying to draw a foul.
Donarski looked online. It was just short. Ryan Suarez, pretty. Emily Ryan was thrilled that Suarez came over to play her final year in college. More assists for one of the best.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, well, she broke the single season assist record last year. Now she's got Jones and Suarez to hit up, and it starts with a dribble penetration by Emily Ryan, forcing the rotation by Michigan State. Suarez then drops to the low post. Easy find and finish.
Emily Ryan getting halfway to a triple-double, 5, 4, and 5 so far. Foul by Donarski. Her second sends Hageman to the line. Oh boy, Hageman missed them both.
I love that Michigan State's pressing even on a miss there.
Emily Ryan with the floor spread. Bill Fenley just yelled, go. And then Ryan got fouled on the perimeter by Elliott. It's her second. She takes her face mask off and throws it under the bench in disgust. Rather nightmarish second quarter, certainly, for Michigan State. They were only down 6 coming into this quarter.
Well, and I've said it, Michigan State's really had no adversity to this point in the season. They have been able to blow everybody out. So this is the time to regroup at halftime as well. Like, all right, we didn't play well. We're down double digits. But in my mind now, this is about Michigan State responding.
Ryan gets them both. McDaniel draws the contact. Foul by Espin-Miller-McGraw.
Bill Finley's up 20 points right now, and he is beyond frustrated that they fouled on that possession.
Yeah, it's a team that has not been scoring at all in the second quarter, and now you give them a chance at some freebies with McDaniel after being fouled by Espin-Miller-McGraw, picked up her second.
I was about to say, I'm not sure Michigan State realizes Suarez is back at half court, but now Joyner's backing up.
And a foul on the sideline. Osment trying to force Fritz out of bounds, instead picks up her foul, and Susie Merchant, her face kind of says it all.
And Pam, this isn't a lack of Michigan State playing hard. They're playing hard. It just looks like they're putting so much pressure on themselves to execute, and it's forcing so many miscues on both ends of the floor.
Michigan State shooting just 20% for the game, 0 for 10 from 3. .20 advantage for the Cyclones as they head into the locker room, and it was a big difference in this second quarter.
Huge, only 5 points for Michigan State. To this point in the season, it's been Michigan State holding opponents to single-digit quarters. Great defense by Iowa State in the first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays.
Seven rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 monster blocks.
That's right, 4 blocks, tying her season high that she had against Cleveland State earlier. this season. This is her first and last year with Iowa State. Michigan State starts off the third quarter, much like we saw in what really was a disastrous second quarter for them. They were outscored 19-5. As we showed you, only hit 1 field goal, missed 11 of them. And they have yet to score a single point off turnovers. Beautiful ball movement. Suarez that time from Fritz.
And it starts with the dribble penetration. You've got to be able to contain a ball handler. And right now, Iowa State's being able to do whatever they want on the offensive end. Forget the full court pressure for Michigan State right now. They've got to get solid in the half court.
Michigan State now with 9 turnovers and just 6 made field goals.
Well, as we were talking about at halftime, Pam, yes, this is unorthodox for Michigan State not to have any points off our opponent's turnovers to this point in the game. But it's the shooting percentage, only 6 of 30.
Meanwhile, Iowa State's putting on a clinic. That's Ryan with the finish from Suarez.
And we thought it'd be a 3-point contest. But Iowa State's been able to get high percentage looks at the rim consistently throughout this ballgame.
Iowa State has shot 14 threes, 24 twos. Doing a great job on the defensive end as well. Michigan State coming in 6-0 on the season. But this is their first ranked team. You see Iowa State ranked 5th. They are in the AP top 5 for the first time in 21 years.
And based on what we're seeing in the first half, that ranking is very warranted. They've got balance, they've got shooters, they've got great post play, they've got rebounders, and they're defending.
Hageman hits free throws after being fouled by Emily Ryan. Now some pressure after the made threes. Donarski gets it over to Ashley Jones.
And Pam, that's interesting. You double a ball handler, but you leave an outlet pass in the middle of the floor wide open. Again, little miscues are hurting Michigan State. There should have been a rotation there to get that steal.
Offensive foul before the shot. Suarez picks up her first.
She just doesn't get set. Good call by the official, and even better reaction by Bill Finley. No one else could see it, but he's just trying to explain to her, just stand there. Yeah. You're 6'8", just stand there.
Just be 6'8".
Yes.
McDaniel bottled up by Donarski, got the shot off, and that's one of the tougher shots they've taken, and it went in. With the make, they can set up some pressure, but Donarski and Ryan are so experienced, and they play together a long time. Makes it easier, right?
Absolutely, a yin and a yang. If you're going to try to take away the primary ball handler in Ryan, Donarski's very comfortable in bringing up and initiating an offense for the Cyclones.
Jones posting up hard against Elliott, who fouled her. Ashley Jones starting today with the bad left shoulder. Doesn't even wear a brace on that shoulder, which has popped out on numerous occasions, but we were at practice yesterday. She didn't practice at all until at the end when she started throwing up shots. And was hitting some threes.
I was going to say shots, no, threes. She stepped on the floor, not having shot the entire almost 45 minutes of practice, and knocks a 3 down.
Fritz has just committed a foul for the Cyclones as you get a good look at Ashley Jones. Michigan State has missed 20 of its last 23 shots. They were only down by 6 after the first quarter. And now Parks commits a foul.
Just illegal screen, did get set. Yeah, it's that leg out. Stuck it out a little bit. Good call by the official.
It's like a hip check in hockey, so Parks takes a seat.
And Pam, when you bring up Iowa State, and we do it, immediately the talk is Ashley Jones. But to this point in the game, now 43 points, only 3 of those are by Ashley Jones. This is a very solid, balanced ball club.
Jones hit a 3 back in the first quarter. And Daniel hits that. That's a great point. You're going to look at this and go, oh my gosh, they're up 20, they have 43, Jones must have 20. No, she has 3. And that's a great sign moving forward for this number 5 team.
Absolutely. I told you coming into this game, I was really eager to see Suarez in person as Ryan gets to the rim yet again. Because what I'm seeing now is so much less pressure on Ashley Jones, offensively and defensively. In previous games, depending on how you match up with Suarez, if you put your 5 on him, they've been posting up Jones.
Oh, that was very sweet, Dee Dee Hageman. A little spin move and the finish.
But to finish that point, how teams are going to try to attack Suarez will only help Ashley Jones on the offensive end.
Should open things up, right? The whole spacing on the floor, I think, would have to be altered.
Absolutely.
You see the double down on Suarez that gave Jones a better look at a 3. She missed it that time. And the giveaway. 8 different Cyclones have hit a shot today. Beautiful. Holy smokes. Benarski to Suarez. You can't stop it. Michigan State certainly can't.
Well, and that's unfortunate for Michigan State. They have to be better in the half court because that pass was at least 5 to 8 feet beyond the three-point line. It was in the air way too long for it to be that easy for Suarez to finish.
Gosh, Osmond had a good look at it. This is the Big 12 favorite.
I mean, the offense is just coming way too easy for Iowa State. Cross half court, well behind the three-point line. Just lob it up for your big girl, leading her to the rim. Just great pitch and catch by on the offense.
Foul on Osmond. And there's what you were talking about. How about that? She's missed 5 or 6 shots, only has 3 points, and the rest of her teammates are lighting it up.
Well, and this is the thing. We don't expect Ashley Jones to have games like this, but this is a young lady who did not practice. You're talking about a team who flew across the country, and it's not like usual, you know, if you're at home and whatnot. That's a lot of wear and tear, and you just don't get the kinks out as far as just a flow goes. And just to step out here today and play is remarkable in terms of her athleticism, but we're seeing it on the offensive end right now.
Kane, second chance with the rebound. Ashley traveled as she dribbled into trouble. Timeout. Iowa State in control. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays. Phil Knight tournament's going on all Thanksgiving weekend in Portland. Phil, a very famous alum of Oregon, has written them a couple of nice checks over the years. Bob Huggins, Huggy Bear, he's still doing it. And his team about to take on Purdue, 10 Eastern time on ESPN2. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from now. North Carolina hanging out. They had a big come-from-behind win against Oregon in our first game today. They will play the winner of this game on Sunday. The loser gets Oregon on Sunday for the third-place game. And let's see how Michigan State responds here. Still more turnovers than field goals. Unbeaten on the year, but not a very challenging non-conference schedule. Kane turned around and had a little bit too much oomph on the shot.
I can't help but wonder, too, with Michigan State, the effect of not having Matilda Eck here from an offensive execution perspective, but also we talked about the 6 games. They have been jam-packed here in the first 2 weeks. Is there any fatigue? I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I always would sit back as a coach and try to figure out the whys. Yes, give credit to Iowa State, but from their inability to execute, especially on the offensive end right now, that's what I'm trying to figure out is why. Yes, Iowa State's taken away certain options, but the inability to finish is what's really concerning for me this evening.
Shot clock really skinny now. Hageman's going to have to step back. And it's a violation since it didn't draw iron, and just a bad day so far for Michigan State. There's that, I mean, impressive scores, but look at the competition with all due respect. This is by far their best, most robust challenge.
Absolutely. And, you know, we talked about coming off of the disappointing season a year ago, and they've got to learn to win. And so they've done that. Now you've got to learn to execute in order to win against better competition, as they're going to see throughout Big Ten play.
There's a travel. Yeah, Michigan State last year, just a 500 season for Susie Merchant. Not making the NCAA tournament, something that they have not been used to doing. Best result, they made the Sweet 16 back in 2009. And Iowa State got to the Sweet 16 last year. Most wins in program history with 28, and thinking of bigger and better things this season. Suarez was able to gather, and then the foul by Alexander.
Michigan State foul on number 12. Iselin Alexander. Her second personal.
Again, Stephanie Suarez from Brazil. Her parents both played college basketball.
At the line to shoot 2.
Had a father, a brother, and sister who played at the Masters College, which is a Christian school in NAIA. It was a foregone conclusion. She was going there. This is a kid who has D1 ability, but she always wanted to use her last year, particularly when COVID hit, and got the free year in a Division I program, and here she is starting for the number 5 team in the country.
Well, she wanted to get better as well. She wanted to face better competition, she said, because she does have aspirations to play professionally. And I love her recruiting story. Obviously, Iowa State had recruited her when she was in high school. She remembered that, came on the official visit, and it was snowing. And she said, we didn't expect that. And the coaching staff had jackets for her and her mom there. And as a coach, I would have cringed in that situation. But she said it was great because it was so different than anything she experienced, and that's what she wanted for that 5th year.
And that was very smart of the staff to be prepared. Bring out the big puffy coats, the toques, the beanie hats, whatever. Just keep them warm.
Well, Ames, Iowa in the winter, I'm sure that wasn't their first rodeo.
Yeah, they probably greet everyone like that. Even if they have a coat, you bring them a second coat because it gets cold. Ashley Jones fronts the 3. Ashley still with just 3 points. Oh, there's a nice bucket. Abby Kimball, true freshman from Grand Rapids, getting her first action. And Susie Merchant used a lot of players early on in the season. Bench shortened in this game today, but now we see Kimball in for the first time.
Substitution for Michigan State. Gabby Elliott. Stephanie Bishop.
Well, and I think
Into the lineup.
if you're Michigan State right now, forget the scoreboard. Let's go possession by possession right now and just try to create some positive momentum. Let's get a good, solid offensive execution this play. Execute the play, and then worry about getting a stop. Forget the score at this point. Just focus on playing Michigan State basketball.
Oh, I'm sure they would love to forget the score. Oh, there's block number 5 for Suarez. That's a new career high in her first year at Iowa State.
And she got the block, and she immediately took off down the floor trying to score in transition.
Good double, but that left Suarez open. She can finish with either hand as well.
So I think that's at least the 3rd or 4th time where the double by Michigan State has come on the low post player, but no one's rotated behind it, leaving Iowa State post wide open.
Kickball.
Iowa State.
Stephanie Suarez comes across from weak side with the block and takes off running in transition. Doesn't get it, but very next possession stays big, gets the drop pass off of the double team. You can't just trap. You can't just double the ball without having rotations behind the ball.
And you could see her stand there with her hands ready. And then she was able to quickly put it in the bucket.
Great work by Kimball down low, trying to deny Emily Ryan the ball in the low block.
Jones keeps shooting.
Ball's out of bounds. Spartans.
Ashley Jones hit a 3 in the first quarter. Since then, she's been shut out in her 20 minutes of work, has missed 6 of her 7 shots, including 4 threes.
She's a shooter. She believes the next one's going in, as she should. I mean, and this is what's crazy. She's still the 7th leading scorer in the country. She is averaging 26 points a game and shooting a whopping 40% from 3. But Pam, she started the season 2 of 14 from 3.
Yeah, coming in her last couple of games, she had been very impressive. Jones, last 2 games, it hit 13 threes. There's a 3 for you. Danae Fritz. Both of her, she was born in Ames. Both of her parents got their master's degree from there, but Maryville, Tennessee is listed as her hometown. That's outside of Knoxville. Let's go. Suarez gave it up. Shot clock is off. Ryan picked up her dribble, needs some help. And they're not going to get a shot off. 3 quarters of play. Iowa State has been in control. What a showing from Suarez. It's 53-29 in Portland. Cue the turkey. Welcome back, and yes, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is what Iowa State women's basketball, they're playing outside on grass, chicken wire backboard, back in 1908.
And for anyone who can tell, that is Pam Ward.
On the right, the small one. And I believe the final was 2-1. It was a long time ago. You know, that's a light stanchion and telephone pole, and now let's fast forward 124 years or 114 years? 114
A long
years.
time.
Long time. And Ashley Jones only has 3 points. Her career low, believe it or not, is 2. The last time she had 3 points in a game was in 2020 when they lost at West Virginia. They're not going to lose today, going out on a limb.
Well, I'm sure that's very frustrating for Ashley Jones here this evening.
Yeah,
but if you're a
so
Cyclone
competitive,
fan,
yeah.
you've got to be ecstatic to see the balance of this offense this season.
And they're doing it against a team that in this season, first 6 games of the year, Michigan State did a really good job on defense. And Suarez now out of the game, giving them an extra dimension. Vischer with the pose. Stephanie Vischer along with Matilda Eck, the 2 Swedes on this team. And just to reiterate, boy, they're missing her. Now, I'm not saying they'd be winning the game, but I think the game would be closer. It'd be a different feel if they had Matilda Eck in this game, but she's back in Sweden playing with her national team today.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't say enough. Matilda Eck had led this team in scoring in 3 of their first 6 games, leading them in average as well. And that's a big cog because I think it just gives an offense consistency. And I'm sure it gives a lot of these younger players a sense of comfort that they don't have today.
Yeah, pardon me. That's what Coach Merchant said. She not only is our best 3-point shooter, but is a calming presence. And when you get steamrolled, particularly what we saw in the second quarter when they only hit 1 field goal, Matilda is going to, come in and you see what they're missing as the graphic pops up. But much more than just the numbers, what she brings to them as a veteran leader, one of only 2 returning starters. Emily Ryan finishes with the left hand. Hageman with the ball, the other returning starter for the Spartans.
We've talked a lot about Suarez's impact as a newcomer to this team, but I think Fritz has brought a lot to this year's team as well. Out last year with an injury after game 3, and there's a toughness about Danae Fritz that I really enjoy watching. Can obviously shoot. Bill Finley said, I need her to shoot more. She's deferring to her teammates too much. And, I mean, first of all, I wish my coaches would have told me to shoot more. But she defends well, she rebounds well, she's strong, she's physical.
Hageman at the line after being fouled by Ashley Jones. 3rd one on Ashley, so Jones has as many points as fouls today. And Danae Fritz out last year. Only played 3 games and had the Liz Frank injury in her foot, which can be quite serious. Konarski over the head of Jones. So there's that Michigan State defense, the pressure.
And preparing for Michigan State, there's so many different full court defenses that I wasn't sure if it was a run and jump or what it was. And Susie Merchant said, yeah, we've got a lot of different types. And so that time they switched up the full court pressure and were able to get the turnover.
Yeah, when you were speaking with her at practice yesterday, she started listing them, and at about 3 or 4 in, I was like, whoa, that's a lot.
I was like, okay. And again, I always approach defense of getting to the head of the opponent's point guard. Make them think, make them wonder what you're in, because if they're thinking, they're not able to just let the offense flow with their teammates. And that's why today it's just really astounding how well Iowa State's just been able to flow, and I give Emily Ryan all the credit for that.
Another block for Suarez. You wanted her to take that 3.
I'm a three-point lover. I can't.
Wow, good job. Vischer, the Swede. That's a tough shot by McDaniel, who wanted the foul as well. And you made the point, Michigan State continuing to play hard. Jones finally gets field goal number 2. McDaniel continuing to attack the basket, got fouled.
Iowa State foul on number 10, Stephanie Suarez. Her second personal.
Stephanie Suarez picks up her second. There's Sparty telling those young men how it's done.
I love mascots.
Is he trying to get them to stand up and like dance with them? And
I think they had too much turkey earlier.
Blowing them off.
Yeah, this is the turkey nap time for the
you
young
would
people.
You'd be up there dancing.
Oh,
with them.
absolutely. Again, I'm a mascot lover.
McDaniel joins Hageman into double figures.
Can they get the 10-second count?
You take it away from Ryan. Well, Hageman combining nicely with Osment. And that is a kicked ball, no foul.
This is what I was expecting to see from Michigan State tonight, forcing the turnovers out of the trap. Hageman just picking the pocket and taking it to the rim. So Michigan State switches it up yet again, this time going man. And Susie Merchant and Bill Finley are just talking to one another about the officials' call just then.
Get a little smile in between the two of them. Ryan. Well, she's been really aggressive to the basket in this game. 15 points for Emily.
And just disrupted a backdoor cut by Michigan State. Emily Ryan knows if no one stops you when you have the ball in your hands, you just turn the corner and keep going to the rim.
A really good player who doesn't get a lot of national attention. Played at Central Plains High School in Claflin, Kansas, where she lost a grand total of 0 high school games. 104-0 playing for Pat Stiles.
Why does that sound so familiar? Claflin and Stiles.
Yes. Jackie Stiles, family with still influencing things in Kansas, and Emily's just so solid.
Taylor Parks at the line to shoot 2.
Championship of the men's Battle for Atlantis coming up, Kansas and Tennessee, 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN. That is tomorrow night, the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis, to be precise. And again, forget football. You certainly don't need to watch the Minnesota Vikings today. Watch basketball. This is a great Thanksgiving basketball weekend, and a lot of it is right here in Portland.
Absolutely. We've said it before, the mecca of basketball for the weekend. And hats off to Michigan State right now. They are outscored Iowa State here in the fourth quarter. They're still showing emotion, excitement. They're still connected right now. And you're seeing all of a sudden the defense be elevated for this team.
So that's got to be uplifting. These teams, again, will play again on Sunday. A very vocal fan.
You gotta love fans. I mean, they are up 18 points, and the woman doesn't approve of the officiating.
Yeah, look at the foul count. Look at the scoreboard. Oh, I said that out loud. Parks, that's a really nice finish. Tyre Parks.
And Pam, this is what I'm seeing. It's just how quickly Michigan State is converting from offense to defense now. They're just energized, and then we've not seen them play with this kind of just focused energy since early in the first quarter.
Got off to a good start, but then Iowa State got rolling, and second quarter was the big difference. And now we're seeing a rejuvenated Spartans team. Fritz chased down the rebound and then was fouled in the backcourt by Aralt.
Michigan State foul number 40.
You really don't want to foul 40 feet from the basket, but that'll at least make the one fan happy.
Yeah, there's one back on the foul count tally. Jones able to save it. Hanging out, waiting for the ball, Donarski.
Great shot by Benarski, but I've got to give Emily Ryan credit. Full court pressure, she allowed two people to commit to her, and then she went over the top, was screaming double, double, double to Ashley Jones, and Ashley Jones just delivers the ball to Donarski.
It's the lead back up to 19. Good answer, Moira Joyner, the senior from Saginaw. Some of the bench players coming in and making an impact. Suarez put back into the game. Ashley Jones, splash.
Bill Finley said, we've had success against pressing teams because of our ability to go over the top, and that last possession was a perfect example.
And Jones is a player that doesn't really change expression very much. Goes out there, plays hard.
It's called Iowa tough.
Iowa City. Okay, there's the threes. They were a little quiet for a while, and now the threes are starting to go again for Iowa State. They have hit a three in 867 straight games, all under Bill Finley, and by far an NCAA record. And we don't see it ending anytime soon.
No.
Donarski going to settle things down. And yeah, luxury, isn't it? Because Ryan didn't even have to bring the ball up. Just let Lexi do it.
Makes it very difficult to press this team.
Step back three. Suarez. Hanging out. Double team, still gets the putback. And after Michigan State made a little bit of a run, it's a 24-point lead. Suarez now with a double-double. 5 different players have hit a three for Iowa State today. Joyner with another bucket. Emily Ryan right down the middle. Couldn't finish, but has a chance at the free throw line.
Well, Pam, we knew it was a matter of time for Ashley Jones to get going. After a slow start, 8 points here in this final quarter, spotting up in transition and doing what we love to see, knocking it down.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dollar General. Beautiful Portland, Oregon, and as the sign tells you, it's Old Town. Christmas season, I guess, officially underway now that American Thanksgiving is here. And Ashley Jones, as you mentioned, off to a slow start, but then with that bad left shoulder, doesn't matter. She's going to come alive eventually, and we'll get to see her on Sunday. Barring a miracle comeback, it will be against North Carolina. Here's Emily Ryan, and well, we got some good games coming up tomorrow. Get to see some more superstars, not just Ashley Jones. We got AZ Fudd. We got Caitlin Clark. Come on. Why would you? So we'll join you tomorrow. UConn Duke, 6 Eastern on ESPN2, then on ESPNU. Caitlin Clark takes on the Beavers of Oregon State.
And if you have lived under a rock and you don't know about these teams, expect offense. I mean, that Duke-UConn game, can't wait to see the pace of the play. And more importantly, I can't wait to watch AZ Fudd play.
Averaging over 30 points a game so far, and unfortunately Paige Becker's out for the year with the ACL. Fudd was so limited last year with a bad foot. We talked to Gino Oriema yesterday and said that this is as healthy as AZ's ever been, and she is playing so well. Their bench is wafer thin because of other injuries. Ice Brady, another freshman who they were counting on, is out for the season, but they are unbeaten, and we get to see them tomorrow against Duke. Caitlin Clark, Monica Sonano, the rest of Iowa. Always a fun offensive team, taking on the Beavers.
Offense, offense.
You love it.
Offense.
Clark, certainly a National Player of the Year candidate. Beckers was a National Player of the Year back when she was a freshman, but has unfortunately not been able to stay healthy since. Oh my goodness. Stephanie Suarez, you know how to say hello in Portuguese?
I do not. I struggle with just English,
Okay,
but
I was just wondering.
Stephanie Suarez, Pam Ward is now a huge fan of yours. And she does the work before the ball hits her hands and then just spins off the contact from the defender.
And this is just, the rest of the country, this is their first chance to see her. And if you're in the Big 12, you're going, whoopsie.
You thought you just had to worry about Ashley Jones and these other perimeter players.
Huge difference maker. Suarez with 28 points, 10 of 14 from the floor, 11 rebounds. Timeout on the floor. Suarez also has 6 blocks. Not so bad.
I'm sure a lot of people tuned in to watch Ashley Jones, and you have got the coming out party for Stephanie Suarez. Figuring her night's done, and it should be. She impacted all aspects of this game. Defensively with the blocks, defense altering shots, hand snatched that one down, ran the floor in transition, knocked down a 3. She has been fabulous this evening.
The numbers say it all. Wouldn't you say? Oh my goodness. Just a very, very special player. The 23 points tying her Iowa State high. Had 23 against Northern Iowa earlier this year. And now Bill Fenley getting some bench players in. Izzy Zingaro, another Canadian, coming in and getting the bucket. Bridget Carlton, a great Canadian player at Iowa State, who is now in the league.
There's just great basketball in the state of Iowa. When I was coaching in the Midwest, it was always, you wanted Iowa kids on your team, and it's not happenstance that both Iowa and Iowa State are 2 of the top programs in the country.
We will see Iowa tomorrow against Oregon State. And I was talking like Lisa Bluter, the head coach for the University of Iowa, and she says gives a lot of credit to the youth and the AAU and the high school basketball coaches there, because as you know probably all too well as a former coach, right now too many kids just go out and they play games. But there, she said, more often than in other places, they get taught the game. They are actually coached, so when they come to college, those Iowa kids are ready.
Well, and we talk a lot about Iowa and Iowa State, but let's talk about University of Northern Iowa, UNI, who took Iowa to overtime. I'm sorry, who took Iowa State to the last second shot. And then Drake as well in Des Moines, who did force overtime with Iowa. 2 great programs out of the Valley. It's just quality basketball from top to bottom.
And Drake is where Lisa Bluter coached before she went to Iowa. And her former School almost got her before they lost in overtime. Iowa, coming into this weekend, was the only team in this tournament who had lost a game, and that was to Kansas State. And UConn Duke start things off tomorrow, 6 Eastern time on ESPN2. That is 3 o'clock here in Portland. And then we'll follow that up on the U with Iowa, Oregon State. Scott Rueck very excited about his team. A lot of new faces on that Beaver squad.
I think a young team. I'm eager to see how they handle the opponent tomorrow. But this has just been fabulous. I mean, if today is any indication, I may not sleep tonight getting ready for tomorrow.
There are the starters. Ashley Jones playing with that bum shoulder today. An off shooting day for her. Finishing with 8 points, 3 of 9 from the floor. But the comforting thing, she's got really good supporting cast.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if you're Bill Finley, you feel really good, not just about the win, but just, I'm sure he learned a lot about his team as well today. And on the flip side, Susie Merchant has learned a lot about her team. And I do think teams learn more through a loss. And so I'm eager to see on Sunday, how does Michigan State respond?
Their first loss of the season. Pretty good response here. I know it's a 30-point advantage, but we saw some fight and some good things come out of their press. And a few times that they did hit shots.
Well, man, I'm a big believer. Our game is about matchups. And some teams just don't match up well with others. And I think the veteran guard play of Iowa State just nullified the press for the most part here this evening of Michigan State.
Yeah, you're talking about Emily Ryan, one of the best point guards in the country, and her running mate, Lexi Donarski, who handled the pressure well. Subs all in now for Finley. It's Mary Kate King, the 5'3" sophomore from Dubuque, and the bench explodes, and Garrow gets her second shot to fall. I'm hoping the starters get excited when the players who don't get a lot of time get in and score.
Well, they know they work as hard as they do in practice.
Michigan State going to fall for the first time all year. Hageman and McDaniel, 14 and 11 points respectively. It was Suarez, though, doing most of the damage for the Cyclones. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 blocks. Joined in double figures by Emily Ryan and Danae Fritz. Now the Cyclones of Iowa State will take on North Carolina on Sunday for the championship. Michigan State gets Oregon for third place. Very impressive for Billy Finley's squad, or Bill Finley's squad.
Balanced scoring, and I can't say enough, the defense I thought was just as much of a star as Stephanie Suarez was here this evening.
And the Spartans will play at 10 a.m.
So Iowa State takes it by the final of 80-49, and there's your good luck at Suarez, Finley, and Merchant with some kind words for each other. And in Portuguese, "Olá" is how you say hello. I thought it would be something cooler, but
you make it cool.
Olá, Stephanie Suarez. What a game for our entire crew. And Christy Thomas Scuddy, I'm Pam Ward, as we say so long from Portland. Field Night Tournament continues tomorrow. We will see you at 6 Eastern for Iowa and